One of the things I see so many people doing now is trying to be on every social media they can possibly reach, trying to do loads of other different marketing tools and techniques as well that they could possibly do. And sadly, large chunks of their efforts and time, and if you think when you're self-employed, your time is definitely money, large chunks of that are actually wasted. And I don't mean wasted in that they're not having an effect. I mean wasted in that they're not having an effect that could be better if things were done differently. See, one of the things that I will always come back to in marketing videos and videos about sales and growing your business is understanding your target market. And if you're using channels where your market targets are only there in small numbers, then quite frankly, that's going to be a waste of time. Now, interestingly though, people just seem to think that I've got to be everywhere. And at the minute, we've got things like Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Instagram, we've got Pinterest, we've got TikTok. And that's not even all of them. We've got things like networking, email marketing, pay-per-click advertising, billboard, print marketing. And those are just the common things that people do. But the question always has to be asked, is your target market there? You know, if you sell to the over 50s, TikTok is probably never going to work for you at the moment. And it could well be that TikTok at some point in the not too distant future is just going to fall by the wayside as so many of these things have been hyped up and then they just fall out of use. Even right now, Facebook is not growing. In fact, Facebook's numbers have actually plateaued. Younger people are leaving Facebook alone in favour of other things. And the older people, say the silver surfers, the 50 plus, are going onto Facebook in droves so they can keep in touch with family and keep in touch with friends from all over the place. So, if you're trying to reach, say, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, Facebook probably isn't the most effective channel that you can use. But everybody seems to want to be there. So my thoughts are, and it always comes back to target market, you really need to understand who you're selling to. You really need to try and learn as much as you possibly can about them so you can try and identify where it is they hang out. So, for example, imagine you sell supplies to hairdressers. I hate to say it, but if you're spending all your time on LinkedIn, you're only going to have a limited reach. But I know for certain that almost all hairdressers will have some kind of presence on Facebook. Many of them will have an Instagram channel as well to be able to show off the work that they do. So, spending time on Instagram and Facebook trying to connect with hairdressers will probably have, well, in fact, almost certainly have more of an impact than trying to reach them on LinkedIn. It could well be that if you sell to 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you're trying to use email marketing. I hate to say it, but a lot of people communicate more with WhatsApp and to some extent Snapchat in that age bracket than they do via email. I remember a number of years ago, my scout group, we had a Facebook page, and I realised after reaching the age group was 14, 15, 16, 17, and I realised after a while nobody was using it. And when I asked them why no one was using the group Facebook page, it's like, well, we don't use Facebook anymore. It's for old people. And this was several years back. So try and have a think about who you're selling to. Try and have a think about whether the channels that you're using are applicable to that group. Are your target market using these particular channels, email marketing, networking, whatever it is that you do, are they using these channels? And if they aren't, are you spending way too much time in there? I would rather this is something I do, I make conscious decisions about what channels we use, and I use the channels where I think the largest number of my target audience are going to be. And I do the research and I confirm that. So, interestingly enough, I don't spend a huge amount of time on Instagram. Why? Because a lot of people in my target market, which is the self-employed people who typically work from home, only a minority of them use Instagram. Most of them have some kind of Facebook presence. Large numbers of them are on LinkedIn. So those are the channels that I typically use. And also a large number of them are on Twitter as well. So those are the three channels that I tend to use. That's because I've done the market. I also do a lot of email marketing as well, and blogging, etc., videos on YouTube, because I know that my target market responds to those. That may not be the same for you. So, to sum things up really, do the research on your target market. Are they hanging around in the places where you're actually promoting? And if you're promoting on channels which, quite frankly, your target market are not using in large numbers, consider scaling it back. In all honesty, I'd consider just knocking it on the head. Why waste time on something which is never going to get real traction? Your time is precious, and when you're self-employed, you're it. There's only a certain amount of time, and we're all time pressed. None of us have enough hours in the day. There's always too much to do. So why waste time on channels that simply are not going to get you anywhere with your target market? So look at your target market. Look at the channels that you're using. Are you using too many? Are you spreading yourself too thin to get really good at stuff? You know, you want to be good at these channels, not just mediocre, not just putting stuff out because they're there, or putting stuff out because everybody else is there, or putting stuff out because it seems to be the done thing. Your marketing needs to be crafted, it needs to be deliberate, and it needs to be targeted. Have a think about that. Crafted, deliberate, targeted. Okay? So go where they are. Get good at the channels. Scale them back if you're trying to do too many to trying to reach your market. Get good at them. But more importantly, don't waste time, effort, which ultimately turns into money, on channels which, quite frankly, are not getting you anywhere, not reaching your target market, not having an impact. And you can look at the stats, look at the numbers, look at the return you're getting from these channels. And if nothing's happening, you're getting nothing out of them, question why you're doing it. But anyway, that's enough ranting at you. I really, really hope you've enjoyed this. Like I said earlier, if you've got something to say, please let us know. We love to hear from folks, and we always respond to comments on our channels, and share it out far and wide. Subscribe to the channel if you really like it. But that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.